Thank you so much for joining me on the mat today. We're going to start in a comfortable seated position. So I just like to release my bum cheeks to get a really nice tall seat. I like cross-legged, but whatever comfortable seat feels like for you. From here, we're going to find our breath. Let's bring one hand to your heart, one hand to your lower belly, and close down through your eyes. Settling into our breath for our class, taking deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. As you breathe in through your nose, start to feel a rise and lift into both of those hands. And on that exhale, feel your shoulders roll down your back. Your sit bones sink a little bit deeper and heavier into that mat beneath you. Finding that ripple of breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Make the next breath your deepest and widest breath like this. In through your nose. Really big exhale out through your mouth. Gently start blinking, open your eyes. Circle your arms out, around and up. Interlace your hands at top point. We reach up and over to one side, open through your ribs, open through your side body. Slowly come back to center, reach those hands up to allow yourself to float over towards the opposite side. Coming back to center, reach those hands up, release those hands in palms face towards each other. Rotate towards the left hand side, then that right hand finds that left knee, left hand reaches behind you. Using that resistance to peer further behind that left shoulder. Find that open through your ribs, open through your side body. We come back to center, hands reach overhead. We rotate over towards that right side, left hand, right knee. Right hand reaches over behind you. You're peering behind your right shoulder. Find that opening through your ribs. We then come all the way back to center, reach those hands up, circling those arms back behind you. Your palms come down on the mat, your fingertips face away. Your feet are going to come down onto the mat. Okay. From here, we're going to find your hip opens. Push the mat away with those hands. Your knees knock over towards the left. Your eye gaze comes over towards the right. Open up through your hips. Open up through your neck, as well as that chest. Come back to center, we go over towards the opposite side. Knees knock in one direction, eye gaze into the opposite direction. Coming back to center, cross those legs, hands come in front, and you're going to find that 4-point kneeling position. I'm just going to wiggle myself slightly further back. From here, we're going to find your cat-cow, drop your belly, lift your chest. Then scoop your belly, eye gaze comes down towards your knees. So drop your belly, lift your chest. And then round your spine, eye gaze comes towards your knees. Find that midpoint between those extremes. I'm just going to walk my hands and my knees slightly over to the right because my left leg is going to come all the way out to the side of me. So hands are just underneath those shoulders. Your left leg is long. Your right knee is underneath that right hip. From here, can you shift your weight back in towards that right hip and then you come up. So this is a really nice way to open up through that left inner thigh, keeping that whole foot grounded if you can, and open up through your right hip flexor, as well as those shoulders as we sink and we come forward. I like an inhale to sink down, and exhale to press up and press through. Let's go for 2 more. Trying to get that bum closer to that heel every time. Final one, hold there, finding that pause. Really sink that heel back towards, bum back towards your heel. And then you come up. Okay, we're going to float that left leg back behind us. I'm just going to walk myself back to be on the mat. So hands come underneath those shoulders. Your left leg is back, your eye gaze is forward. Can you point those left toes? From here, we're going to start lifting that leg up, tapping that leg down. Okay, so you're pushing down through your hands, you're finding space into your shoulders. If this feels too much on your hands or arms at any point, you can drop down towards your elbows. Your right knee is under your right hip. Once again, if you need more support, you can roll over that mat to just give yourself a double layer under that right knee. You point those toes, that leg lifts up, you drop down. So finding space into your left hip, length through that left leg. The next time that left leg is long, hold there. Flex your foot, so toes towards the mat. You're going to bend your left heel to bum. Point those left toes, extend that leg long. So flex that foot, bend that leg, heel to bum. Point those toes, extend that leg long. Really nice. Let's go for 3 more like that. Keep pushing the mat away, eye gaze is forward. 2. The next time that leg is bent, hold there. Flex that foot, really small pulses up and down towards the ceiling as if you're pushing something into the ceiling. For 3, 2, 1, hold there. Bend your left knee. Can you step your left foot forward towards the center of the mat? Okay. One hand is on either side. I want you to find a rock, so I want you to bend deep in towards your left knee. Then we're just going to walk your hands back towards your right knee. Weight shifts back, kind of like we did in that stretch before, and your toes lift on that left leg. So as we bend into that left knee, this is your hip flexor. You can always draw that left knee out if you want a little bit more space. And then as we rock back, we're coming more into hamstrings. I've got really tight hamstrings, so my leg isn't straight. So just be aware of how your body is feeling, and just kind of take your body as it is today. Doesn't matter if it's not straight, you still get a really good stretch, if not an even better stretch. Really nice. Final one like this. Eye gaze is forward, you rock all the way forward and we hold. Your hands are framing your foot, so what I mean by that, if you've got one hand on either side of that foot, you're going to tuck through those back right toes and you're going to see if you can lift that back leg up. From here, can you rock forward onto your tiptoes and back into your heels of that right leg. So a really nice way to find space into the back right ankle. Your eye gaze is staying forward over the front edge of the mat. Wiggle your feet around if you need more support. Come back into that center point. Right hand is grounded, left hand reaches up towards the ceiling, looking up towards your hand. Can you circle that left hand back, looking towards that left hand? Challenge here is to come onto your tip of your fingers of that right hand. Maybe glide that right elbow towards that left knee and find that twist. Palms together, you're looking behind that left shoulder. Really nice. From here, come back to center, hands come down. We're going to step, big hop of that right foot forward to meet that left foot. Find your forward fold, generous bend through your knees. Maybe reach your hands back behind you, interlace your hands, reach those hands up towards the ceiling, and we're going to bend and straighten both of your legs. Reaching those hands up, dropping your head down. Find that pause, find that forward fold. Can you drop your head a bit deeper? Nod your head yes. Shake your head no. Hands slowly come down towards the mat and you roll yourselves all the way up to standing. At that top point, big roll of those shoulders all the way back. Roll of those shoulders forward. Okay, I'm just going to step back, so I'm towards the back edge of the mat now. We're going to find your squats, you're going to be in parallel position, toes are facing forward. We're going to inhale, we sink down, hold there. So your bum goes back behind, your eye gaze is forward. You exhale, you stand, your arms come on down by your side. I want you to keep your feet really grounded, but as you come down, your weight is shifting back into your heels, So you can maybe give those toes a little bit of a wiggle, and then we come up. It's an inhale to sink down, eye gaze forward. Exhale to come up. We're going to start to add on. You come down, you hold. Can you give me 2 pulses? We go pulse, pulse, and then we stand all the way up. We sink down, eye gaze forward. We go for 1 pulse, 2 pulse, stand all the way up. Engage those glutes to the top with a slight squeeze. We're going to add on again. You come down, we go pulse, pulse. Now as we come up, we come all the way up onto our tiptoes. We sink those heels down, we come down, so we go pulse, pulse, stand up, come all the way up onto our tiptoes. And then we glide down. Let's go for 3 more like this. 2. The next time you come up, hold there, freeze. Hands come onto your hips. Can you sink both of your heels down? Come and rise onto all of your 10 toes. Hands on your hips to check your shoulders are down, your hips aren't rocking and rolling. Okay, really nice to come into the calves. We lift, and then you slowly roll down. Next time you lift, hold there, freeze. Can we walk it out? 1 heel drops, the other knee bends. You come up onto your tiptoes, we go over towards the opposite side. Tiptoes, and then we sink over. Really good. Let's go for 4, 3, 2, 1. Come all the way up. Drop those heels down, big bend of your knees, circle those arms up. Circle those arms all the way out, around, down, nose nods towards your chest. Find that forward fold. Hands find the mat, you're going to walk yourselves forward. Find that plank position. I just have to walk my hands back slightly. Then we're going to walk your hands back towards your toes. Find that forward fold, and then we slowly roll up. We've got 2 more like that. Reach those hands up, circle those arms down. Really nice to find energy through all of that body. Slowly walk out, meet me in that plank position. Hands underneath the shoulders, eye gazes forward. Final 1, bend through your knees. Hands walk back towards your toes, find that forward fold. We roll, we come all the way up, sweep those hands overhead. We're going to meet in that plank position. We circle out and around, nose nods towards your chest, slowly ripple all the way down. Hands find the mat and walk yourself all the way out into that plank position. Hold there. Okay, eye gazes forward. Can we lift that right leg all the way up? Bend your right knee, step it all the way through. From here, we're going to find your rock. Drop your weight forward towards the tip of your left toes and back towards your heels. Any creaks or cracks are welcome for those ankles. Really good. Find that center point. Left hand is down, right hand reaches up. Keep kicking that left heel away to give you that base of support. Right hand reaches back. Can you come onto your tiptoes, tip of your fingers on your left arm? Maybe draw your left elbow to meet that right knee, and then you find that twist. You're reaching up, you're looking over that right shoulder. Then from there, you slowly face the mat, hands come down, drop those left knees, untuck those left toes. Shift that weight forward towards your right foot, and then slowly start to walk your hands back, lifting up through your right toes. We walk your way forward. Generous bend into that right knee. Can pulse there if you need, or if it feels good. And then slowly you walk your hands back, lifting up through your toes, trying to drop that heel back down, that bum back to your heel. Let's just go for 2 more like this. Really nice to mobilize through the whole of the lower body. Final 1, we reach forward, you hinge forward, you pulse down, you walk your hands back towards your heel, you come all the way back. We're going to come all the way forward, hold there. Can you kick your right knee all the way back? Find that 4-point kneeling position. I'm just going to walk over towards the left slightly. Hands are underneath those shoulders, knees are underneath your hips. You drop your belly, you lift your chest. Then round your spine, eye gaze comes towards your knee. So drop your belly, lift your chest. Scoop your belly, eye gaze comes towards your knees. And then find that midpoint. You're going to step that right foot out to the side. So your hands and your knee are over towards that left slightly. Hands are underneath those shoulders, eye gaze is forward. Keep that right foot grounded down. We inhale, we sink back. You're thinking bum to heel, and you exhale, you come forward. Really nice way to open up through your shoulders, your hips, and that right inner thigh. If it feels too much on that left knee, you can of course roll over that mat and give yourself a bit more support. Make the next one your final one like this. We sink back. Maybe give yourself a moment to pause there. We glide all the way forward. Hands come to the centre of the mat. Sweep that right leg back, and I just need to step that left knee in slightly as well. Okay, we've got those leg lifts. Push that mat away with those hands. Remember the option is there for your elbows or to roll over that mat for that left leg. Point those right toes. We lift that leg up. We drop it all the way down. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. I want you to think energy from the crown of your head all the way to that tip of that right toe, keeping everything really nice and long. We're finding strength into that hamstring, into that hip. We've mobilized through those hips a lot throughout this class. The next time that leg is lifted, hold there. Flex your foot, you're thinking heel is pushing away. You bend your leg heel to bum, point that toe, extend that leg long. Trying to keep that control. Eye gaze is forward. In 3, we're going to find that bend for our pulses. 2, keep pushing the mat away, don't dump through those shoulders. 1, flex that foot, really small pulses up and down, heel comes to the ceiling, we're here for 4. 3, 2, hold up on that next one, straighten that leg out. Okay, hold there, can you lift that left leg, kick that leg up to the ceiling, looking back towards your right toes. You're in that 3-point kneeling position and draw circles of that left foot. Then reverse the directions of those circles. Find that pause. You're going to bend your left knee, sweep forward, and we're going to find your pigeon pose. Your left knee is forward, your right leg is back. Okay, from here, can you really melt down? You can either stay on your hands or you rock down onto your elbows, or you can bring your forehead down into your hands. I'm going to stay on my elbows just so I can talk to you. Your options are here are to wiggle from left to right. Don't be afraid to walk that right leg further away. And I've always got an angle of that left knee, but just have a play around. Some people can also bring their foot all the way parallel to the front of the mat. So just have a play around there. Find that moment of stillness, breathing into that space we've created. Shoulders roll down. Allow yourself to just release and breathe into that left glute, into that left hip. Make that next breath your deepest and widest breath like this. In through your nose. Exhale out through your mouth. Walk those hands up onto that mat. Tuck those right toes. Sweep that left leg back behind you, 3-legged dog. Drop that left foot down. Sweep that right leg up and draw circles of that ankle. Eye gaze is back towards that left knee. Reverse the direction of those circles. Kick that leg up. Bend that right knee, drawing it through in between those wrists. Left leg goes back behind you. Release that back leg. You either stay in your hands or you walk down. You find that space on your elbows and give yourself a rock. from side to side if that feels good for you. Find that moment of stillness. You can remember to drop down onto your elbows or your hands if that feels better for you. Breathing into that space down that right side body, right glute, right hip. Make the next breath your deepest and widest breath like this. Then your hands start to find that mat. You tuck those left toes, sweep that right leg back behind you. Right leg comes down, find that pause. Hands reach forward, your hips are reaching back. Bend through your knees. Can you slowly start to walk your hands back towards your toes? Find that forward fold. Opposite hand clasp, opposite elbow. Give yourself a rock from side to side. Hands find the mat. Nod your head yes. Shake your head no. Find stillness and just roll out through the jaw. So roll that jaw in one direction and then the other. Just we hold so much tension there. Then slowly pushing up through your feet, you glide yourselves all the way up to stand. I'm just going to turn to face you at that top point, circle those arms out, around and up. Interlace those hands, we reach up and over to one side, open through your ribs, open through your side body. We come back to center, big reach up to allow us to reach over towards the opposite side. Coming back to center, reach up towards the ceiling, circle those arms out, around and down, shoulders roll back, shoulders roll forward. Give yourself a massive smile. Thank you so much for joining me on the mat today. I really hope you enjoyed that.